Viewers, have you ever wondered what would happen if the powers of the superheroes protecting Earth were exchanged? At the same time, an alien sneaks in, creating many holes across Earth. These superheroes, who were very skilled at controlling their powers, will now have to handle the powers of other superheroes. This will be their real test to see how they work as a team to fight these dangerous aliens and monsters and protect Earth, as always. At the beginning of the story, we see a planet called Unjun that is completely destroyed in no time, as if a powerful force had obliterated it entirely. From within the planet, a glowing object emerges and rapidly heads towards Earth. This object enters Earth's atmosphere and starts moving to different locations. Meanwhile, we see Mr. Fantastic and Susan getting married. Both are superheroes with their own teams, working together to protect Earth. Mr. Fantastic and Susan are enjoying their bachelor party when a military general arrives. The general informs Mr. Fantastic that they have found many large holes at various locations, and their number is gradually increasing. They had also seen a glowing object near these large holes. Mr. Fantastic, along with his team members, analyzes all the data and discovers that these holes have cosmic energy. They need to create a machine to detect this cosmic energy to understand what the white light was. However, Mr. Fantastic considers his wedding more important at the moment, so he requests some time from the general to complete the wedding with Susan. In the meantime, Mr. Fantastic's team starts working on creating the cosmic energy detection device without informing the general. Among Mr. Fantastic's team is a man named 3, who is very strong and has a body made entirely of stone. Similarly, a man named Johnny can fully convert his body into a man. After a lot of effort, they succeed in building the device. The next day, Mr. Fantastic is celebrating his wedding. They had connected the cosmic detector device to a satellite so that if the glowing object appeared anywhere, they would be the first to know. However, shortly after, the white-colored object arrived, causing destruction everywhere. The cosmic detector device detected it, but the white object had so much cosmic power that it caused the device to explode. This caused significant destruction, but Mr. Fantastic's team managed to save everyone. The white object continued to hover in the sky, so Mr. Fantastic instructed Johnny to follow it. Johnny was reluctant because using his superpowers would destroy his only suit, but how could Johnny refuse his captain's orders? So, Johnny used his powers and went after the white-colored object. Both of them soared rapidly through the sky. Johnny noticed that the white object looked like a human and was flying at 100 volts. In reality, it was an alien named Silver Surfer, a humanoid that looked like a human. They flew in the sky for a while, but then the alien captured Johnny. Johnny couldn't use his powers against the alien, and the alien took Johnny into space, causing his powers to gradually diminish. The alien then threw Johnny back to Earth, and Johnny sustained severe injuries. After returning to his team, Johnny told them everything about the alien. Since the alien had touched Johnny, Johnny began feeling strange. Frustrated, Johnny left. His sister also followed him to check on him. She touched Johnny to check his body temperature, and suddenly, all of Johnny's powers transferred to his sister. Now, Invisible Woman started burning because she had Johnny's powers, and Johnny had acquired the powers of Invisible Woman. This meant Johnny could now become invisible. Both of them were bewildered as to how this was happening and did not understand how to control each other's powers. So, they were wandering around, trying to find the pearl. Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic arrives and tells Johnny to touch his sister again. When Johnny does so, their powers return to them. The situation was quite strange. When they all went back to their laboratory, Mr. Fantastic tried to figure out the cause of the issue. Upon examining Johnny's DNA, Mr. Fantastic discovered that when Silver Surfer touched Johnny, a lot of cosmic energy entered Johnny's body. Now, Johnny had the power to exchange powers with anyone he touched. When Johnny tested this by touching things, their powers literally exchanged, and Johnny turned into stone. However, they were able to exchange their powers back by touching each other. Mr. Fantastic also found out in his research that the alien had visited various planets in the galaxy and had completely destroyed those planets within 8 days. Since the alien was creating many holes on Earth, it was possible that it intended to destroy Earth as well. They analyzed the pattern of the large holes to determine where the alien would create its next hole. They found that the location would be in London, so they all went there with the military. Suddenly, a massive hole began to form in the area, causing a huge shock of water. London was hit by a giant swing that had over 100 people on it, who were now in severe danger. But there was no reason to panic, as Mr. Fantastic and his team were present. They managed to rescue everyone from the giant swing and get them to safety. Just then, the alien emerged from the massive hole, looking very terrifying. Johnny went to capture the alien, but accidentally collided with Mr. Fantastic, resulting in a power exchange. Mr. Fantastic, who had the power to stretch his body to any length, had those powers transferred to Johnny, while Johnny's fire powers were transferred to Mr. Fantastic. Neither of them knew how to control each other's powers. So, both of them tried to find a place to stop, but the alien did not wait for them to recover. After completing its task, the alien left. Silver Surfer was traveling across the entire Earth, and as a result, cosmic radiation levels were increasing, which was harmful to human bodies. Meanwhile, we are introduced to a man named Victor, who had been imprisoned in a box for the past 2 years due to severe burns that had badly damaged his body. The only solution he had for healing was cosmic energy, which had increased significantly because of the alien's presence. Victor was made of cosmic energy, so he was freed after all these years due to the increased cosmic energy. However, Victor's body was still not fully healed. When he learned that the radiation came from the alien, he went directly to confront it. He talked about reducing the problem together, but the alien, who was Silver Surfer, was not interested in cooperating and began to ignore Victor. In anger, Victor declared war on Silver Surfer, which turned out to be his biggest mistake. Silver Surfer used his powers to launch a powerful attack on Victor, causing him to fall far away. The attack did not kill Victor, but started healing all his injuries. Since Silver Surfer had immense cosmic energy, he used that energy to attack Victor, allowing Victor's body to absorb it completely. This made Victor extremely powerful. After fully healing, Victor went to Mr. Fantastic's laboratory with the military. The military did not fully trust Mr. Fantastic and his team, so they wanted to include Victor in their team. Although Mr. Fantastic was reluctant, the situation on Earth was critical, so they decided to add Victor to the team. After this, Victor informed them that he had encountered Silver Surfer and discovered that Silver Surfer's entire body was made of cosmic radiation, and he derived his powers from the board he rode. This means that if they could separate the alien from his surfing board, he would lose his powers. With this information, Mr. Fantastic began creating a device to separate the alien from his board. Meanwhile, Victor was working on a device of his own, the details of which were unknown to anyone. After much effort, Mr. Fantastic completed the first generator. From the patterns of the craters, he also knew where Silver Surfer would create his new crater, so his team, along with the military, went to that location, which was a very dense jungle. They set up generators in different directions throughout the jungle. However, as Invisible Woman was setting up her generator, Silver Surfer appeared in front of her. She informed her team members that Silver Surfer didn't want to destroy Earth. For the first time, Silver Surfer spoke, saying that he did not wish to destroy any planet but was being forced to do so by someone else. If Silver Surfer didn't comply, his entire family would be killed. At that moment, the military began firing at Silver Surfer, but it was ineffective. Silver Surfer easily absorbed the large missiles with his board. Invisible Woman activated her personal laser, which directed a high level of radiation at Silver Surfer, causing him to fall from the board. Without his board, he lost his powers and was eventually captured by the military. Meanwhile, Mr. Fantastic and his team were informed by Invisible Woman that Silver Surfer was not evil and did not wish to destroy Earth. Instead, there was someone else behind this destruction. She then went directly to meet Silver Surfer, who revealed that the true villain was a dangerous alien named Galactus. Galactus traveled to various planets in the galaxy, absorbing their core energy to sustain himself. Now, Galactus wanted to destroy Earth as well. That's why Galactus captured Silver Surfer's family and sent him to Earth to create numerous craters, intending to come to Earth and absorb all its power through those large craters. Silver Surfer's mission was now complete, and his board was acting as a kind of message device that could be used to communicate with other characters. Invisible Woman's entire team realized that they could only save Earth from destruction by destroying the surfing board. The board was stored in a military security center, but Victor's intentions were questionable. He had secretly built a device that allowed him to control the board, and with this power, Victor was able to take control of it. Victor's plan was to obtain the board at any cost, and he succeeded. He even wore an iron armor that made him almost invincible. Victor killed all the military officers and escaped from the center. When Mr. Fantastic and his team learned about this, they realized that Victor had betrayed them. They had freed Silver Surfer first, and now they began to chase Victor relentlessly. Victor's power had increased tenfold due to his possession of the surfing board, and Mr. Fantastic's team was struggling to defeat him. Victor outwitted and defeated everyone one by one. He wanted to kill Silver Surfer, because if Silver Surfer died, only Victor would have the right to the board. Victor picked up a rod and threw it at Silver Surfer, intending to kill him. Invisible Woman arrived just in time and tried to stop the rod using her powers, but its speed was so great that it directly struck her body, severely injuring her. When Mr. Fantastic and Johnny arrived and saw Invisible Woman in this state, they were deeply saddened, especially Johnny, as she was his only sister. The four of them then touched each other, transferring their powers into Johnny. Johnny could now harness the powers of Mr. Fantastic, Thing, and his sister, which made him extremely powerful. He went straight to attack Victor. Using the combined powers of his team members, Johnny severely damaged Victor and destroyed the device on his hand, which had been controlling the surfing board. Victor fell along with the board. Unfortunately, Invisible Woman had died due to her injuries, but when Silver Surfer got his board back, he regained his powers. He used half of his powers to revive Invisible Woman. Meanwhile, Galactus arrived on Earth and began to devastate the planet. He started absorbing the core's power through the craters he had created. If he wasn't stopped soon, Earth would be completely destroyed. So, Johnny flew to Galactus and left Silver Surfer to face him. Silver Surfer knew he was the only one who could defeat Galactus and was determined to confront him. He flew directly to the center of the explosion and unleashed all his remaining cosmic energy, causing a massive explosion that killed him along with Galactus. The explosion released intense radiation, which Johnny came into contact with, fully healing him. Now, their powers no longer exchanged upon touching, and he was completely safe. The story concludes with Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's wedding, where they look very happy. However, in space, we see Silver Surfer's seemingly lifeless body, which suddenly opens its eyes, indicating that he was not actually dead. His surfing board begins to rise towards him. And with that, our superhero movie ends.